And, there was even more to that. It was in 1946, we executed Japanese soldiers who had waterboarded American POWs. That was a death penalty offense to waterboard somebody. On January 11th, 1968, the Washington Post ran a front page photograph of an American soldier waterboarding a North Vietnamese prisoner. Robert McNamara was the Secretary of Defense. He ordered an investigation that day. The soldier was arrested. He was charged with torture. He was convicted and sentenced to 20 years of hard labor at Leavenworth. And then in 2002, like magic, it's all legal. Well, the law never changed. The law was never amended. Congress never voted to repeal it or to amend it. We just decided, because we're the good guys, we're going to do this now. And we're just going to say it's legal. And that wasn't good enough for me. And so starting with the hooding and then going through the torture, and waterboarding was not the worst. There were others. The cold cell, we killed people using the cold cell. You chain the guy to an eye bolt in the ceiling, you strip him naked, you chill the cell down to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and then you throw a bucket of ice water on him every hour. We killed people with that.
Add a fan to that situation. That's as cold as you're ever going to get.
You're exactly right. Well, the Justice Department, I read the classified, what do you call it, from the Justice Department, the recommendation. But they never said we could kill people. Another one was sleep deprivation. I did a contract with the American Psychological Association after I got out. We came up with something called the Brookline Protocols, which were the new rules for APA members involved in national security interrogations. Sleep deprivation, we know from the APA that you begin to lose your mind at day 7 with no sleep. You begin to die from organ failure at day 9 with no sleep. But the CIA was authorized to keep people awake for 12 days. And people died doing that too. You're chained to that same eye bolt. You have the music on loop, at the volume of 11, and the military strength lights on you all the time, and you die of organ failure. It's like, how's that legal? The Justice Department never said we could start murdering people. So I objected.
I have interfaced with the agency mostly from a case officer perspective overseas. And one thing I hear from people often, they'll say they kind of want to denounce the agency. And I always try to remind people that any agency or organization is comprised of people, and you're probably better off exercising the cancer as opposed to radiating the whole body.
That's right.
But inside of the agency, when it came to those enhanced interrogation authorizations, is this an open secret? Was this very closely guarded?
Oh, it was very, very tightly held. In fact, when I was first approached, I was asked if I wanted to be trained in these enhanced interrogation techniques. I was told that only 16 people in the CIA knew that this program existed. 16 people. Now that's
a lot tighter than I would have thought.
Yeah, it was very tight.
Do you think, and there's an aspect of this we have to add as well, too. There's a rendition program. There's the reality that the United States, when they don't want to get their fingernails super dirty, like, I don't know what's going over in Egypt or Jordan or other countries that have extra car batteries and nipple clamps. Exactly. That's more of a movie thing than anything, but
you'd be surprised.
Well, and that's the issue. It's funny when people actually start to look for these things. It's not even that well hidden. I remember the rendition program. I used to fly Gulfstreams after I got out of the military.
That's cool.
There was a Gulfstream that went up for sale, and for whatever reason, it got associated with the agency because it was one of their birds that they were using for rendition, which got me down this rabbit hole of looking more at that rendition program. So the information is out there. It's more just a matter of people having access to it. That's what piqued my interest. Do you think it actually ever stopped? Because it's the same thing as, the agency, from my understanding, is supposed to be externally oriented, but they'll use cutouts. They'll use corporations largely formed by ex-employees, or they'll create a paramilitary arm, right? The ground branch, the air branch, the maritime branch, all of these things.
That's right.
Do you think it ever actually stopped, or do they just keep taking left and right turns until they can get to the end state that they want and justify it that way?